So Zoe, let's start by talking about what Vampire Academy is about.
Sure. I mean, to me, Vampire Academy is a story of friendship between these two girls that don't have a family. They just have each other. And this awesome bond that makes my character able to see everything and feel everything that my best friend is going through, which is awesome. And they also happen to be vampires going to school and dealing with these kind of outside forces trying to attack them. So I love it. There's like action, and there's some sexy romance, and there's this loyal bond between these two great friends. I don't know, there's something for everybody.
And tell me specifically about your character, Rose.
Yeah. Rose Hathaway is this strong-willed, funny, passionate, curious, interesting, difficult, active in pursuing information opposed to passive. She doesn't just sit there and wait for things to come to her. She goes out there and figures it out herself. She's amazing. It was really fun to play her.
You talked about the comedy. Let's talk about that a little bit more, because it is actually a really funny movie, and the team behind it, they definitely know comedy.
Yeah, that was Mark Waters. Mark Waters, the director, has such a talent for comedic timing. Like when he would give me line readings, I was never offended. I'd go, okay, I trust your opinion. I'd do whatever he says. And Dan Waters has such a mind of a 13-year-old girl, which is upsetting considering he's a middle-aged man. But together they were like the dream team in this kind of teen comedy. I guess you could call it a comedy. I don't know. It's hard because it's not one genre, which I love.
That's another interesting thing about it. There are so many elements to the film, so let's talk about those as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said previously, the movie kind of, I think that was the thing that I was most worried about, was the tone, because I didn't really know how they were going to pull off vampire girls that are funny. I didn't understand it necessarily, and it totally works because it's consistent. They didn't pull back at all. Otherwise, you would have felt like you're watching 16 different movies. The flow is very nice. Yeah, and I find the comedy necessary because there's so much plot, and it's a book, it's a book to a movie. There's so much plot that it needs the kind of humor to ground it, and yeah.
Let's talk about St. Vladimir's Academy. It's very unique high school, but there also are some elements to it that every high schooler deals with. So tell me about those two sides of it.
Yeah, we have, in a lot of the trailers, there's footage of the Equinox dance, which is a lot like the prom, and there's a scene of Lissa and Rose like shopping for a dress and freaking out about this gorgeous necklace that they want, and there's a really sweet scene of Lissa saying to Rose, "How long have you been in crush with your teacher?" There's all these cute little one-liners that really remind you of when you were in high school, or when I was in high school, I mean. Yeah, it's nice. It really, it makes it that much more relatable.
And then you also get to do things like learning how to fight and all those elements.
Right, which is not so much like my normal high school experience where, you do your math, you do your English, you do your science courses, and then you go off and you do your learning how to maim and kill class. So that was definitely, it was fun to shoot for sure. All the school training scenes were awesome. I loved them. Other than spraining my ankle, that was not so fun.
Now, there's a lot of great female characters in this story, which I think is wonderful. Tell me about working with Lucy and Sarah.
I love those girls. Yeah, Lucy and I got on so well from the get-go, and I mean, we really from the audition, I drove her home. Our relationship very much so is like Lissa and Rose's. And it's kind of it's difficult to not love Lucy. She has this sense of wonderment and this kind spirit. And Sarah and I are a complete disaster around each other. Like, we're the loudest, most obnoxious humans, and it's so much fun. I have such a great relationship with her, and I always can guarantee a good time. I guarantee a loud good time, I should say, with lots of Broadway jazz hands and bizarre, inappropriate discussions that should never be on the record.
She said the same thing.
Did she really? Good.
She said that you're very loud together.
Yeah, we definitely went over what we were going to say about each other. What if we paid each other to say good things so we didn't like each other? I can guarantee you that's not true. We do like each other.
And tell me about working with Dominic as well.
Dom is so not what he appears to be. Like, everybody wants him to be this really like brooding, sexy British guy, and he's the biggest klutz I've ever met in my life. Like I was just on a press tour with him, and he can't stand up without falling. I swear to you, and I love it. It makes him so much more adorable, and he's lovely, and he's also just a very good friend. He's very trustworthy and sweet and there for you, which is hard to find in a guy friend. I would say for me.
We talked about how this is based on a very popular book series. Tell me what you think the fans of the book can expect seeing this come to life.
Yeah, I mean, I think it stays really true to the story and to the characters. The only difference is kind of like there are more little like one-liner jokes, and that's pretty much the furthest thing that it strays from the book. And I think there's something to be said about the fact that Rochelle Mead, who's the author of Vampire Academy, loves it. That's like my only kind of defense when people are like, they changed this, she has this color hair, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, the author really dug it, so.
That's a high compliment.
Yeah, absolutely, I think so.
Now tell me about a little bit of the training that you did, because your character is really a kick-ass character. So tell me what you had to do to prepare for the role.
You mean you don't think I was just born with an innate ability to punch people really hard and fly across rooms? No. Yeah, I did about 3 months of gym training and jiu-jitsu and Krav Maga. And it was super cool because I never would have I always wanted to learn self-defense, but you know, there are all these things that stop you, whether it be fear or you're just time stops you, whatever happens. So I was so lucky to have an opportunity to do this, and it really informed my character in so many ways that I guess I only discovered after training, because you know, the way she carries her body, the way she looks at someone and really, really digests what's going on with them and their body language. And if they're putting their hands like this, that means they're a little bit more nervous. Or if they go, you know, or when you open the door, you look behind and make sure no one's there. And these specific little details that made her, for me, that much closer.
Any favorite scenes or moments from the film for you?
The whole thing. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.